Right. Well, this has got to be like, fuck, I don't know, the 10th time I'm re-recording this now. I just thought I'd do it in a better resolution. Anyway, this is a new song which I spent about an hour writing, so if I make mistakes, just listen to what I say afterwards, and when I play it through, it's pretty much just kind of like a guide to the structure of it and how it will sort of sound. I'm going to tell you about it afterwards, but I'm going to go through it with a metronome at 116 BPM because the rhythms are a bit off-putting and they don't always sound like they fit. So just so you can follow it through and hear that they do fit and stuff, because otherwise it doesn't sound right. I'm going to give 2 bars in and then it'll start. Okay, that's actually got to be the first time I've recorded that played correctly, which is quite amazing. I might add a little bit on the end, kind of like yeah, I might do, might not, depending on how it will sound in practice. But you don't need to worry about that. So the whole idea of this is that I'm gonna make like an ambient sort of intro, you know, like industrial sounds and shit. And I'm gonna make it all sound like creepy and, well, yeah, it's gonna sound pretty cool. And we're just gonna like walk onto this, and then you know, when that ends, we come on with this, and the whole it's monotone. It's pretty monotone, which, you know, obviously isn't what you like, Amnon. But it's not all about you. Jokes. Yeah, the whole point of it is just to be really, really fucking heavy, and just dead chuggy. You know, kind of like just really chuggy, kind of a bit like Black Tunnel. If you listen to them, is that kind of like idea. Just, you know, slow tempo, really heavy riffs. You know, lots of like cymbal work. It's just like steady tempos, and the whole idea is that, you know, it's something to come on to which you can really get stuck into. You know, lots of windmill and headbanging, that sort of shit. You know, start-up hit, that sort of crap. Which is why I want to come on and just make a statement to be really heavy. Obviously the rest of the stuff isn't exactly much or anything like this. This is the most monotone we've got, but I wanted it to be really heavy. So, you know, that's how it is, basically. That's the whole point of it, which is why it sounds like that. And you know, I messed around with the rhythms quite a bit, obviously, as you can tell, which is why, you know, several other riffs come in offbeat and that, and it sounds like they don't fit, especially the last riff, the fifth riff. So I'll go through the riffs with you. There's 5 riffs all in all, and how it happens is the first riff, the opening, that'll be the first riff, and that repeats 3 times through the song. All the other riffs follow it afterwards, so it's kind of like it's kind of like basically the song goes up to the 5th riff, which is no, sorry, it's not. That's the 4th riff. The 5th riff would be that kind of riff, and it basically goes up to there, and then it repeats back up to there, and then there's one more playthrough of the first riff. So it's kind of like the whole song repeats twice. It's like the same section twice, and then it's just the first riff again, just to round off, and then there might be something afterwards. There might not be, depending on how I feel. And then obviously you can change shit, and it'll be more polished by the time we play it live and stuff. So I'll go through the first riff with you. The most important thing is that it starts a quaver after the first beat, so rather than going in, it doesn't go in straight away, which, you know, you might expect, which is why, you know, you really have to listen to it, basically. So I'll play it with the metronome and you'll see what I mean, or I'll say it out loud first in quavers, and then you'll see what I mean. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, like that. So now I'll play it through the metronome so you can see what I mean. I'll play that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Okay, so that's how that goes. That's how it opens. All of these entries, by the way, everything I say to do with when they come in, when they end, these need to be perfect on time, otherwise it will completely fall apart. You know, it's you probably won't be able to get back into it, for one, and it needs to really have that edge. So you're going to have to listen to this all over again. Thank fuck I've actually recorded it properly so you can listen to it decently. And yeah, you really need to listen to where the entries come in. So how it starts is I'll go through the actual riff now, so you know where it comes in, and it goes. Right, I'll do that again. So I don't really know how to describe that rhythm, but if you listen to it, they're kind of like, that kind of like brings it in, and then it's kind of like in two triplets. So it's like, if you see what I mean. So it goes, but it doesn't actually go like that. That was just to make the point. It goes like, it's like, if you see what I mean. So don't play it with that pause in it, for God's sake, don't. So it will go, and then here it's 1-0 on the third string, open on the second string. So it'll go, I'll play it up here. So it'll be, so yeah, 1-0 on the third string, open on the second string, 1-0 on the lowest string, on the first string, and open. So that's not very clear, but basically it goes second, first string. So it's basically like a bend pull off. So it's like, and then on the second string. So it's like, so it does that, and that same riff repeats over twice, but there's a quaver between each riff. So I'll play you what I mean. Sorry, 1, 1. There you go. So that's how that goes, and then that repeats 4 times, and on the third time, rather than going to the 0, it goes to the 1 discord. So it goes to the 1. So it goes. So yeah, it goes to the 1 basically, rather than the 0. So it'll go 1, and then rather than going, it goes, it's the same with the second and third string. So, but then rather than the pull off, it's the opposite. So it's 0 and then hammer on the 1, and then repeat the 1. So it's rather than it's like that, and then that brings you into the 4th, which is normal. So the 3rd one again, just to repeat. There, so that's the first riff. The second riff is, it carries straight in, so there's no rests or anything, and there's it goes like this. So how that happens is, the first 3 opens are this kind of rhythm. So it goes. So it's 3 opens and then 3 twos. So like that, and then it's just 2 threes, 2 twos. So like this at speed, and then straight after that it's 4 opens in this kind of rhythm. So it would go from the beginning, and then it goes in the same rhythm, and it's just a minor harmony basically. It's a minor third, so it'll be 5. Rather than a power chord like that, it's kind of the opposite. So it's 5 on the second string and 3 on the third string, and then it goes down 4 on the second, 2 on the third. So it's that's how it sounds, but because it's a chord, you play it like that. So the rhythm itself, it will go like that. So from the beginning of that riff, it will go. Now that was just to repeat that, because it doesn't actually go on like that. It's got like 2 halves to the riff. The second half will go like this. So as you can see instantly, the rhythm doesn't repeat itself from the open, and this time it goes up to like a normal power chord, like 5/7. But from 5/7, the lower note goes down a fret, so it's like 4/7, and you just hold them on, so it goes like that. Off topic. Anyway, so yeah, I'll play that through again because I went off topic. Just like that, and that whole, those 2 parts of the riff, that whole thing repeats twice. You can hear how it sounds before when I played it, except I'll play you how it goes into the next riff, because it's quite important. It's quite easy actually if you count. It's quite easy, but it's important that you get it correct. So it goes like this. This is the second time playing the riff. So you see, basically, it doesn't hang around, and so you'd expect it to, if you actually count it, see if you notice where it comes in. So if you heard that, I don't know, but it comes in on the first beat of the next bar basically, whereas all of that is kind of it's syncopated really, because it's not entirely on the beat. The next riff comes in directly on the beat. Now it's quite easy to mistake it and go something like this. But you see there, when I go, that's rushing it, and that's completely wrong. That's not how the riff goes at all. So don't play that, and if you ever find yourself playing that, then you're wrong, because it's kind of like the next riff is almost in 2 halves as well, where that speed, that rhythm, is actually kind of like the second half of the riff, and the first half of the riff goes, so it's slower, you see. But as I said, it starts on the first beat of that bar, so I'll play you how it goes from the end of the second riff. So I mean, if you're going to practice that riff by itself, it's quite easy because it starts on the beat, so you don't need to do any offbeat entries. And it'll go. I'll play it through again. So you notice, I'll stop when I need to talk. So you see there, it's got like a sort of, it's got like a quaver rest in the middle. So rather than it carrying on and just going, you know, which would sound boring, it misses the quaver. It misses, so it you know, has a quaver rest and then it catches up, which is what gives it the interesting rhythm. So it goes, and then it goes back to the. And see what I do there. I mean, generally it's what I'd call a full discord. So Zaz, this is to you. Rather than playing just 3 on the bottom string and 2 on the second string, so rather than just playing that, it's 3-2. And remember when I said on the third string you've got the 3 because they're octaves, so it makes like a full chord. And that's what I want to use there, just to give it a meatier. If anything, it actually gives the discord more melody, if you can say that. But you know, that's what I'm using. I mean, as long as it's a discord, it's alright. But just as a preference, really. Just as a preference, use the full discord is what I'll call it, rather than a half discord, which is what would be. Because then it's only 2 notes, isn't it? Then, so it's all 3 notes. Yeah. And I'll go, as they're discords, I don't need to say, you know, the frets for each string. So I don't need to say the frets for each string, so I'll just say the frets on the low string. So it will go 3 2 3 4 3 2 3 2 3 4 3 2 3 2 3 4 3 2. So I'll do that again, but without me talking. And so that last bit is where I go. I keep that chord shape, but then when I go down, rather than going down like that, I keep that chord shape because it's easy, and then I go down to the first, but I just use my thumb, like this. But you know, a lot of the time you don't hear the third string, so it doesn't particularly matter anyway. But it's just easier to use your thumb. And I would say you can use the full chord there, but don't, because I'm going to be using my thumb. So if you play the full chords and I play that chord, it's just going to sound really odd. So play it with the thumb, and then it goes to back to the beginning of the riff. And then it goes on to the 4th riff. And then it goes on to the 4th riff, which comes in. I'm going to play it because I'm not quite sure if it's the whole beat or if it's the quaver, but the whole riff sounds offbeat, so it's really off-putting, but it's correct as long as I play it right. It's really about feeling it, you know, feeling the pulse, which is kind of the whole art of this song, is to feel the pulse. That the technicality comes in the rhythms rather than the melody, because there isn't much of a melody, but it's the rhythms are what make it interesting, which is why I'm being really picky about this song and the rhythms. So I'll play you going from that riff into the fourth riff into the next riff. So it'll go for the last time. I'll play that with the metronome as well, just for the very last time, so you can hear it. Hang on. Right. Now, while I'm picky about this riff, Zaz, you don't need to play that because both of us playing that in time. Well, even both playing it in time, it doesn't need two of us basically, and it's easy just for me to play it so that it doesn't. It just get too. You know, one of us would end up out of time and it'd sound messy, and it's just easy for one of us to play it. So you'll be playing something under that. Probably. You and Will will be playing the same thing, and I'll bring this up now. Will, I'm going to apologise, basically, but because this song is all about being really heavy, just as a statement, you know, to open with, you're basically going to need to imitate all the rhythms that I do, and unless you have something which is really cool, which, you know, brings it out, makes it sound heavier, you know, as the bass can do sometimes, you know, given a really sort of chuggy, I don't know, bass line. Generally I would say just imitate the guitars, and Emlyn, the same with you, and the drums, generally imitate. I mean, don't take my word for that, because there's a lot of this, Emlyn, you and I will need to go through with just you and me. Because, you know, there were some rhythms which I want you to imitate, some which I want you to just play straight with them over. So we'll go over that later, but generally, as a rule, I'd say, well, just sort of imitate, you know, the rhythms and stuff, and then, you know, I'll come up with a rhythm part for Zaz, and then you pretty much need to copy that, and then if you're going to add anything, let me know beforehand, just to make sure it fits, because I'm really fussy about this song. So basically, with this riff, I don't need to teach you it, so there's not too much to say about it. It's just the entries, because it sounds offbeat. So it comes in a quaver. It comes in a quaver off the beat. So it goes 1, and then for the whole thing, it's kind of a quaver off beat for the whole. It's, I don't know, it does fit, so I don't want to kind of throw you off thinking that it doesn't fit in with it. I mean, Emlyn, you'll be playing a straight rhythm over that. Rather, you know, you don't want to be imitating that. That's just me playing that. So I'll call out the quaver rests in that, and I'll just play the whole thing through. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. 1. 1. 1. And that's when it goes into the next riff. Now the next riff, I'll play it at you, and it's really easy. Oh yeah, and as I'm using the full Discord 101. So if you listen to the second riff, which goes, it's exactly the same rhythm as that. So, and then it ends open, and then on the first beat of the next bit. You don't need to add that bit because I'll do that. But it's basically that. Because in the first riff, you know, it'll end like. But at the end of the fifth riff, which is what this is, it's the last riff. It's just an open, so. Just like that. So I'll play you the whole of that riff through, so you can get a good sound of it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beat. Sorry, I got that wrong. But yeah, it just goes. Sorry, 1. So again, I'll play you that from the end. So I'll play it the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got that wrong. But, well, what I was trying to emphasise there is that there's a quaver, you know, the quaver beat, and then it goes in. So you know, it comes in after the first quaver. It's not on the beat, so it'll go. You see what I mean? I'll do it again. I just need to be really strict on this. So I'll play it again. So as you can see what I mean, there's the. So just don't play that. Don't play the open. Don't play the open. Just think it. So. So as again, just think it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And it's the same with the fourth riff. Just think the quaver beat rest. Is it the fourth? Yeah, it is the fourth riff. Yeah, just think the quaver beats rest. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, at the beginning when I played it through, you've got the structure, how it goes, all the riffs going together. That's how they all go. So really, you just need to master those riffs, and then just carry on playing it through with the metronome, and how at 116 beats per minute, 116 beats per minute, and you know, try and match it with what I do. At the beginning when I played it all the way through, because it just needs to be really, really on the mark. So basically, practice this lots. You know, just really practice this, because there isn't really much more I can say about it. I can go through the rhythms with you and stuff if you need, but this is all it basically. And just practice this a lot, so that you get all the entries bang on time, and everything fits. Just as a thought, Zaz, when I come in with, because obviously you won't be playing that. I mean, really, the entries, I'm just saying to Emlyn, so you know where to come in, and Will and Zaz, just get to know it, and then basically, when I'm going, practice in time with me, just go along with what I do. I can't remember exactly how that'll go, but anything which I haven't shown you. So I think all the other riffs will be playing the same thing, except that riff. Just do the same rhythm, but just do opens. You might not necessarily play that, but I just want you to do that just so that you can. Or you could copy it. I mean, it goes. The frets are it's a Phrygian mode, I think. So it's from bottom down. It's 12, 11, 8, 7, 5, 4, 1, 0. If you want to play that through just to get it, in time. But that's really what I want all of you to practice, is just getting the entries in on time and everything bang on time. I know I've said it a lot, but that's really what matters with this song. And obviously make it very heavy and chuggy, otherwise there's no point in playing it. That's pretty much all there is. I'll come up with the intro and stuff to the beginning of that, and it should all work out pretty well, hopefully. Practice it a lot. Have fun.